No, 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 no. Wait, 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 wait. Wait, 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 wait.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yeah!
What's next for Mortal Kombat 1? Today you learn the truth. The final Chaos Reigns character dropped about 1 month ago, and we had 2 recent balance patches as well. So players are wondering what's next for this game, if anything at all. And sadly, NetherRealm has said nothing on this topic, aside from announcing the new movie skins coming later this year, along with the royal dress costumes that haven't been announced yet. So today I'm going to explain exactly what's next for Mortal Kombat 1, which means good news along with bad news, and I've got evidence to back everything up. So let's just rip the band-aid off right away. No Kombat Pack 3, most likely. And I didn't feel that way until recently, when NetherRealm dumped every file into the game, including costumes that won't be available for months. And typically, game developers only do that when a game is done, or very close to being done. But don't freak out, because we could still be getting more characters, especially if NetherRealm was already working them, and even more so if those characters are close to finished, because leaving them out would be a huge waste of money. I think it's very likely we get another cameo and possibly a couple main characters as well. But when it comes to Story Mode Part 3, that's very likely cancelled and gonna be saved for the next game, which sucks to hear, but I kinda saw this coming when Madame Bo got revealed, because she was nowhere in the promotional material and she wasn't listed on the DLC bundle either, which likely means that Madame Bo was planned for Kombat Pack 3 instead, but NetherRealm shoved her into the Chaos Reigns bundle because Mortal Kombat 1 is almost done. I really do think that's what happened, because if Madame Bo was planned for Chaos Reigns from the beginning, then she would have been listed and promoted by NetherRealm. They're not going to miss out on that extra money. Having Madame Bo in the trailers would have helped the Chaos Reigns bundle to sell better, so NetherRealm would have revealed her if she was always planned for the Chaos Reigns bundle. But she wasn't, which is why NetherRealm never mentioned her. Plus, only having one cameo character looks really weird, as in, it looks like Madame Bo was shoved in there last minute because she was nearly finished already. So the same thing could happen with more characters, which is why the game is not over yet. I don't think we'll get a Kombat Pack 3, but we definitely could get more characters. But next, we have another big sign that Mortal Kombat 1 is ending: being able to buy character mastery. That's right, you can now use Dragon Crystals to instantly max your character to level 35, which unlocks all their gear, palettes, and a couple costumes. You get the idea. Anything you would normally have to grind for by reaching level 35 with a character, you can now just purchase instantly with Dragon Crystals. However, a big warning to all of you watching, and I mean this, a big warning: there is no discount if your character is already leveled up a bit. That's right, in other words, even if your character is level 25 already, maxing them out with Dragon Crystals will still cost the same amount. The fourth snake made it very clear that I tell you all that, and having the option to instantly level your character is a big hint that Mortal Kombat 1 is almost done, unfortunately, because I doubt that NetherRealm would bring an entire combat pack after granting players an option to instantly level them up. Stuff like this almost always happens when a game is nearly finished. In fact, something very similar happened with Mortal Kombat 11. So for anyone watching this video who thinks I'm being a doomer for views, I am not. There's just many signs that Mortal Kombat 1 is ending this year and Kombat Pack 3 is not likely happening. However, we could still get more characters. As mentioned earlier, we have 2 costume packs coming, but on top of that, there's still empty character files in the game, which should have been removed during the recent updates, but they weren't, which could definitely mean that NetherRealm plans on adding new characters to those empty folders, because there's no other reason to leave empty character folders in the game files. But also, have a look at the character select screen. We have 2 empty slots on the bottom row. Why did NetherRealm arrange it like that? Is it because more characters are coming? I definitely think that's a strong possibility, because otherwise NetherRealm could have just done this, and everything would look clean. Even for Mortal Kombat 11, they gave us a perfect diamond shape for the roster, so we kinda knew things were over and done with. But Mortal Kombat 1's roster looks uneven, which absolutely gives me hope that more characters are coming, or at least there's a decent chance that more characters are coming. Not a full pack, unfortunately. The Kombat Pack 3 dream is dead, as mentioned earlier, but we could still get 2 main characters and possibly an extra cameo too, which, like mentioned earlier, was not how I felt until very recently. I truly thought that Kombat Pack 3 was possible, but then NetherRealm dumped every finished asset they had into the game, along with a rushed balance patch that was clearly not tested very well, which is why they dropped an emergency balance patch soon after to polish everything. Many of you watching likely did not notice those bugs because you don't dive deep into the gameplay like I do and Aziz, but there was so many bugs with so many characters, so many balance issues, it was busted, which is why NetherRealm dropped that emergency patch soon after to fix those mistakes they didn't notice before because the first initial update was rushed. In other words, it looks like NetherRealm was in a hurry to finish this game, or rather to add everything that was already finished to the game, which as mentioned earlier is typically what happens when a game is close to ending. But with that said, what about the pro competition? That's one more big hint that more characters are coming to this game, because this global tournament is not cheap to fund, and could very likely be used to promote new characters and other additions to the game this year. If Mortal Kombat 1 truly was done, then WB Games would have never greenlit this second tournament series. At least not in my opinion, but then again, they kept funding Sushi Squad, which was hemorrhaging money and is the main reason that MK1 is getting shut down in the first place, along with several other titles that WB Games was funding. Just in case anyone watching was wondering why these games are getting cut short, it's mainly Sushi Squad's fault. It lost WB so much money, which means that maybe WB really is that bad with money and greenlit the pro competition out of ignorance, but I choose to believe it's because more content is coming and they want the pro competition to advertise this new stuff coming to Mortal Kombat 1. Then we have Ed Boon himself though, who last year said that Mortal Kombat 1 was nowhere near done and was going to get a lot more support, and the way he phrased it online made it sound like he meant after the T1000, or in other words, MK1 is nowhere near done even after the T1000 gets here. And I could be wrong, but I think he said this after the cancellation rumors had started, which makes it seem like Ed Boon was trying to respond to the cancellation rumors without shining a light on them to make the rumors more popular. He was indirectly responding to people that had heard about the rumors. Those tweets could be Ed Boon himself telling us that the cancellation rumors were false, but I doubt it. Mainly because why not just say that? If the Mortal Kombat 1 cancel rumors had no basis whatsoever and Ed Boon knows the game is going to keep going, then just tell us, right? I mean, there would be no downside to telling us that, zero downside. In fact, it would only help the game, but nobody at NetherRealm has said that Mortal Kombat 1 is not cancelled, which is sadly more evidence that MK1 is nearly done. We might get a new character or two, but it's a wrap after that. However, look on the bright side, that means no more cameos. For those of you still complaining about it on a daily basis, the next game will not have cameos, and NetherRealm is likely making another Mortal Kombat game. That's right, before Injustice 3, because that's what WB Games would want. I think NetherRealm and James Gunn want to make Injustice 3 instead, but WB Games calls the shots at the end of the day, and they want to make money more than anything else right now, which is honestly fair since they lost a lot of money recently, but my point is Mortal Kombat games make way more money than the Injustice games, which means that another Mortal Kombat game is most likely next. But hey, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. How do you feel about this whole Mortal Kombat 1 situation? What do you think is next for the game? Are you like me and you think more characters are on the way? And if so, which characters do you want the most added to Mortal Kombat 1? Make sure to let me know in the comments. And also, which game do you think is next? Is it gonna be Injustice 3 or is it gonna be a sequel to Mortal Kombat 1 but without the cameos? For me personally, I really don't think the cameos are going to return because even though NetherRealm doesn't respond to everybody and isn't super active online, I think they're aware of how many players hated the new cameo mechanic. Not everybody hated it. Myself personally, I enjoy the cameo system, but I don't want it to stick around either. I think the sequel should try something new, just like every NetherRealm game typically does. With that said though, I think the best choice would be to keep most elements from Mortal Kombat 1, but remove the cameos and maybe bring back the environment interactables, but to a smaller extent, because it got too crazy in Mortal Kombat 11 for my taste. However, in Mortal Kombat X, I don't think the environment did enough stuff, so somewhere in between those two would be perfect. I like the meter system in Mortal Kombat 1. I think they fixed the Fatal Blow system and made it way better. Honestly, Mortal Kombat 1 in general is my favorite NetherRealm game to play at the moment, and also the community actually likes the game right now. Even some of the biggest haters for Mortal Kombat 1 agreed that it's more fun to play now than ever after the recent updates, which is why it's sad to think how the game is most likely ending, because people love it now more than ever. After the year and a half of hate, people actually like the game right now. After an entire year of people heavily criticizing the game, now they actually enjoy it, and tons of people are playing it right now too. The game is still really popular. popular. Which is why if I was WB Games, I would say keep the game going and just add stuff to it, and for Pete's sake, add the 1v1 mode. That's what so many players miss. But alright, I'm rambling, so thanks for watching everyone. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please leave a like down below. It helps the channel out a ton. And then finish that combo by subscribing and ringing that bell so you never miss any future videos. Make sure to come back next time, and as always, stay underdogs.